Right, I am Samantha Kalwarati from Management Faculty, Colombo. I have been teaching this subject for 5 years here. I have been working here for other subjects also for 10 years, right, 20 years. After to shall we go? We will start, otherwise, after connecting this, I have a small wrap-up session for the match. That is better. Time is important. In management, time management is crucial one. Right? Time management. Right. Similar things uploaded to the LMS now are going to be shared one by one appropriately. First, we will go through the course outline. That's the plan. Planning should be discussed in this subject. That is, that's the first function in management. Here we use the plan course outline. Yeah, this is customized to you with the minor changes. And these are the general details. Course code. Course code is BSAA 11023 now, Management Fundamentals. And this is the course name, course code. It is a compulsory course for you to earn 3 credits. Credit can be considered as 15 hours of lectures, then 3 credits are similar to the 45 lecture hours. Then roughly we have to do 15 sessions, 15 classes on 15 days, 15 sessions. Right, it is my affiliation and the name. Right. Then there should be a reason for anything, no? Then rationale of the course indicates why this subject is in this program, the key reason for this. Right. Then what's the key reason? But all these subjects give knowledge you to equip with. But using that knowledge, you should be able to work like managers, not actual managers, facing different environmental challenges like globalization. Is number one. That's the key driver. And there are many other contemporary management issues or problems, challenges faced by modern managers, like how to achieve or maintain world-class business quality on a continuous basis, how to manage the workforce or workplace diversity, how to face unexpected events like pandemic, right? Then how to conduct businesses ethically, socially responsible manner. These are some major examples for identifying major business challenges or management challenges faced by modern managers. Right. Then using the knowledge you gain from this subject as a current and future manager, you should be able to face these challenges successfully. Facing means you have to convert them as opportunity, right, to enhance the performance of your businesses. That's the case of reason this subject will be in this program. But through subjects, you will get only the knowledge. You have to use that knowledge to achieve the things. The subject cannot do that. You have to do that through that. Right. Right, then that is similar to the mission or rationale of the subject. Based on that, we can identify some strategic goals or objectives of the subject or aims of the subject. Right, based on the said mission of the subject, Through that knowledge, you should be able to explain theories and concepts or principles or fundamentals, no, of management. That is number one. Then after that, you also should be able to discuss, identify different practices in each aspect of the management and in other lessons as well. Right. Then importantly, after that, you all should be able to know how to apply these principles, no, in the modern business world. Maybe as a manager who works for an organization, also as an owner manager who has an own business. Right. Even as an employee, you can use that management knowledge to support your bosses. Right now, as an employee, as a unit, or as a subordinate. Right. But about them, management knowledge is not a way, so you can use that in your day-to-day life. It should be like all life, personal life. You can manage your family also through the knowledge of management successfully than before. Right. Then to achieve the aims, objectives, there should be methods or strategies used. As far indicates the teaching learning strategies or methods we are going to use. The main method is the lecture method, traditional method. It cannot be avoided even now. But along with the traditional lecture method, we are going to use some new learning teaching methods also, such as case studies, discussing research articles, watching video presentations, etc. Right? You also should ask questions to show as you actively involved in these discussions. Right. Then overall we will use multi-learning teaching methods, not only one. Right. Right. Then in these subjects, whatever the things so far we discussed, you have to be evaluated. You should be evaluated, not assessed. Right. There are two components to assess. One is final exam. The others are continuous assessments. Right. As the date, 40% can be given for the continuous assessment, 60 for the final exam. But we have to have minimum component also. In exam marks, minimum 35 marks should be there. Not 24, right? Minimum 35. That is another condition, new condition. But altogether, you can secure 40, but subject to these conditions as per the bylaws applicable to your program. Right? But in the university, no such minimum requirement. However, 40 can be secured to have a C pass. But here there is another condition. 35 should be secured from the final exam. Keep this in mind, but don't have the lower level minimum targets. Have more upper level targets. Then you will end up with the minimum in the percentage. Then here I have given some components in the continuous assessment. One is the day-to-day quiz to check your understanding about the things about the things discussed in the lesson. For that I'll give 20 marks for the classroom individual quiz. Earlier I have given only 10 marks, but this time I thought of doubling that. That is better. Participating very different to the learning teaching outcomes. Participation or continuous participation in the classes is number one. But when you look at the attendance of eligible students in the school, that is very low in Sri Lanka. Then the teachers would have given such mechanism, general mechanism to improve it. But it should come from the minister level. Only teachers cannot do that. Otherwise, the parents will not accept it. Then the other 20 goes to an team assignment. There are two components of that part. First, you have to prepare a report and it should be uploaded by the deadline in the LMS for that 10 marks. Then, based on the report you upload, you have to prepare a small presentation slide, set of presentation slides. The same thing for members should contribute. Do you have teams now in this class? We have performed maybe 3-4 teams. Online members can have their own virtual team. But we said it. Then The things in the report should be prepared for slides for oral presentation of 20 minutes. The last week. Right. Then for the same assignment with those two components, written report and oral presentation, there are 20 marks. For the quiz is individual. This individual evaluation. Next one is the team evaluation. The exams also you are evaluated individually, yeah? Not even the exam. You have right below. Therefore, independence, interdependence both should be considered. No? Right. In these classes as well as in the workplaces. Both should be there. Interdependency and independence. First, independence should be shown by, but no dependence. We have been considering dependence from the past. No? It is not relevant. No? We should not depend on another, but we can be interdependent, but dependent. But first, you need to be an independent person. Independent. But always you cannot be independent. You have to interdependent. With your parents, friends, bosses, society. Don't depend on others. Even don't depend on your parents. It is not now applicable. Early applicable. But now, not now. Fine. But interdependence is allowed, no? Interdependence. Both parties can be benefited. You and the other party. Both can be benefited. Right. Then more detailed information is given here. Right. But this is to the team report is to prepare a concept book about these 10 concepts given here. For that purpose, to gather information, you can refer some other textbooks or any other material, right, which are about these concepts, about the principles of management. But there's a writing style you have to follow, writing guidelines. One is you have to refer APA manual, American Psychological Association manual, to deal with the citations and prepare references. I have given you to understand how these sections and pages of the report should be organized in different section names. Section 1 goes as introduction, which may have another subheading, 3 subheadings from background, purpose, and the approach. Approach means how, as a team, you have completed the report. Those can be describing different eras under introduction. About 2 pages can be resumed here, right? But section 2 is to present the write-up regarding those concepts. Concept to concept, you can have different numbers to indicate them. At least use 2 pages to finish the write-up of one concept. Then for this part, roughly there can be 20 pages. 20 pages. For the first one, so far then 21 pages. In the body only, right? I am not preparing other additional pages, miscellaneous pages to prepare report. This is only the body part. Right. Then last section is to present the conclusion and learning curves from the elaboration of the concepts mentioned in the second section. It also will take 1 or 2 pages in the length. No? Then around 25 pages, the body part of the report can be organized. Around A4 size at 25 pages. For that, only 10 marks. 10 marks will be allocated. Right. There can be other pages also, like our page, no, acknowledgement page, abstract page, development page. Finally, list of references in the book. Those can be prepared. There can be such 4 pages additional. Right. But need not to have hard copies now. These days, only PDFs or copy can be finalized, can be uploaded. You go through the soft copies. Need not to get the printouts. In the presentation, also need not to have hard copies of the handout. Use the soft copy, video, get the document of that. to match with the 10-minute presentation. Right. For that also 10 marks. Right. Then, as I said, you can consider APA writing style. To know some hints of the APA guidelines, you can Google for them. Right. Type APA manual or APA writing style, then double click. There are many citations. Go through the basic guidelines of all need not to be read. Only very basic guidelines are applicable to this assignment. This is not a research field. Right. These are the general Windows formatting. Throughout the report, you may use the Times New Roman 12 font, 1.5 line spacing. You can number headings, subheadings accordingly. Right. These are the evaluation criteria of the report for section. But these are evaluated from 100. Later, I will proportionate into 10. Right. For section 10% weight, section 1. For the second section, 60% weight. For the section 3, conclusion, 20% weight. There's another one to check the overall quality of the report, including uploading that before the deadline, or not before the deadline. Right? For that 10%. That's how 100 weight comes. But later, the mark you got from 100 to the report can be divided by 10. You have the final mark, right, for this component. Right, then deadline is the dual classroom actually. So we have 14, 30, 15 sessions. Before that, we have to upload because I should go through them for your final presentation. Therefore, when I come and do the 12th session here, on that day you should be able to upload. From today onwards, there are 12 weeks talking. There can be some other assignments also given by other lecturers. Then have a good plan. To avoid classes, have a good plan between them. Right, another thing goes to the oral presentation of the same report, as I mentioned. Then these are the presentation evaluation criteria. That is also marked from 100, but 40% weight is given for the contents. Contents are the similar things you mentioned in the report. From the report, we have to borrow things, no? Use the things to prepare the slides. Then I will check that. Because in any oral presentation, this would be the main component, no? To finish the contents. Contents of the presentation. After that, I will consider some of your oral communication aspects also, communication skills, clarity of the presentation, teamwork, to display, and final overall quality of the presentation, including time management within 10 minutes. And we have made the flow presentation talking also in good ways. Right. Then, if any clarification you can ask from me about both the report, presentation, and the individual quiz. About the final exam also. All these involve evaluation, assessment. That's the main part. Yeah? Without assessment, you can't have grades. The institution cannot provide grades towards your graduation qualification. This is BSc, no? BSc Applied Accounting, General and Special, no? It's a good one. BSc Academic. Even through this qualification, you can straightly go for an MBA also, no? In a university also. Subject to some post-qualified learning institute. 1 or 2 post-qualified learning institute. 1 or 2 years, huh? Right, this is the session plan, topics. This is mainly based on the institutional office guidelines, but I have customized them into my way. Uh, Normally, we are using two materials. First one is basic handouts I prepare. Then case study will be discussed to understand how these principles discussed in a lesson uh, are seen in practice. Right. To find out case studies, I am going to use the same ebook I uploaded for you. That is one Indian book. Right. Then topic to topic, we will select appropriate case or cases from there. Right. But before that, we will finish the basic principle discussions with the handout. Then these are some additional references, quotes and additional references you to follow. But not only these, there are many, maybe thousands of materials available on management. Yeah, when you prepare the concept book, you have to refer some of these books to get some information about the concept. After that, you have to write it, following the guidelines given in the assignment page. Right, then today we will do the first one, introduction to the subject. It means here introduction to management. Today I don't. It's an online member. No? It's not working. Like. Is it working? I don't know. We might say this. But we don't see, no, the menu of the team video conferencing. Right. Then any other questions about the course outline? This is the plan of the subject. Time to time you have to refer this. Right. If no questions, then we will move to the handout tab. After that, we will do a case study also from the book. Because case study is the best method. Still, it is the best method to study business and management. Right. Introduction to management. First lesson or first lesson, first week. These are the lesson learning outcomes. These are the lesson names at the end, and you all should be able to talk about this, or write about this, to explain about this, practice these accordingly. Yeah? Right. First, we will define management. After that, using a diagram, we will know the process of management based on a system thinking. After that, we will identify why management is important today for organizations. For that purpose, also we are using another diagram. Then, using another diagram, we will identify skills, types, and roles of managers. But finally, we will identify what are the competencies of managers applicable to the 21st century. That's the idea behind the statement to say how to be a new manager. Right. But you can't forget what has happened in the past. No? Based on the history, you have to learn new things without forgetting the history. Then always history repeats. That's the meaning of being new. No? We should based on the past move on, move through present and future. You can't forget the past. All three are interrelated. Okay, then one by one we will describe this. There are a number of definitions about management. This is one definition, but you have to memorize this, learn by heart. What you have to do, you have to identify keywords connections. With that, you can anytime come up with an explanation about management or definition about management. Right, what are the keywords involved in this definition? Even centuries back, in a similar way, management might be defined. The centuries said, in a similar way, management should be defined. Okay, you have defined management. Right. I will modify this little bit. We will consider management as a process. We better use a process approach now to study management. Define that. Therefore, we can say that management is a process. This is the definition given by Dow. Based on that, we will have a small change of the definition, right? Using the keywords, all keywords together. Then we can consider management as a process. Management is a process. Process of planning, then organizing. These are the management functions for management functions, which are already here. Management is a process of planning, organizing, then leading and controlling. Controlling what? Controlling resources. 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 There should be an entity. What's the entity? Organization. This is organizing. This is the institution. Organization. Resources of an organization. What's the aim of this? To help achieve the goals of it. No? To achieve or to help to achieve. To achieve its goals. Right. This should be the definition. No? It's the process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling resources of an organization to achieve its goals. Right, the process involves these four functions. Functions of management. No? Right. Then planning, organizing, leading, controlling resources involve efficiency. No? That's the main element. The resources should be utilized in the maximum capacity. That involves efficiency. Then, when the organization is able to achieve the goals, it involves effectiveness. Goal achievement involves effectiveness. But we can expand this definition. But today I think this should happen in a change in environment to respond the changes taken place in the environment. Therefore, we will use those words also to expand the definition. In a changing environment. then that is better. This is actually context, organizational context, internal and external context. Right. Then these concepts should be used to match with the context. Otherwise, we are not winnable today. Because environment is so changing. This is the natural environment. We need again, we consider globalization now. Above globalization, that is a natural environment. Climate changes, etc., affecting all organizations. But that is also due to this globalization. One can have that way. But in the environment, there are many other forces. There are 6 forces starting from the globalization. We will discuss them in the third lesson. Globalization, technological environment, economic environment, socio-cultural environment, political legal environment, then natural environment. There are 6 forces in the external environment. They are affecting. Then managers should not undermine. Always they have to bother about the changes in the environment. Otherwise, they cannot enhance the competitiveness of the organization. Yeah, this helps to ensure the survival and growth of the organization. If management is done to match with the changes, that ensures the survival and growth. What should be achieved of the business or business organization? That's the ultimate goal. This is the primary goal now, to achieve the organization's goals. But through that, all organizations should be able to ensure survival and growth as well. One can say these are also the goals. That is also correct. But before these, there are many specific goals of organizations: enhancing sales, reduce cost, increasing profitability, satisfying customers, satisfying employees. Right. Right. All will finally ensure this one, no? The organizations or businesses survival and growth in the market. Right. Then centuries before we define management in this way. Right. Centuries ahead, we have to define the management in the same way. But by the time we will live in a different set of environment. This is changing all the time. Earlier, our people lived in a different set of environment. This is always a change. And when we consider different cultures, no, different national setups, then even today, managers should know these cultural differences, cross-cultural differences. To match with these cultural differences, they have to engage in planning, organization, leading, and control. But environment includes both internal, external, not only the external environment always. Both should be considered. But they have to identify internal environment. The knowledge, values of people, their competence, their habits, they should be well known. After that, because that can be controlled. External environment cannot be controlled rather than adjusted. First, managers should know their strengths and weaknesses. Know what is my strength and weakness. But the external environment can be further divided as micro environment and macro. No? Micro and macro. So direct and indirect. Suppliers, customers, competitors, labor markets can be considered as micro or direct environment. Macro involves those six dimensions: globalization, technological dimension, social cultural dimension, those things. In the third lesson, I will review that. But in the first lesson, we have to consider all these. When you look at the definition, it can have the link to all the topics. But you may consider this also. I made this more clear, right? Based on my experience, teaching experience. Not using research evidence, using my own teaching experience. Understand? What, 1 hour finished? With 1.5, we will have a break, no? Short break. For the working. Because this is a 3 hour class. But even now, 3 hours are too much. I would like to do it the best one. But with 2 hour classes, the office cannot achieve the targets. They cannot cover the syllabus. Okay, if no questions, we will move to next one. Yeah, based on that definition, we can consider this diagram to understand the management process or managerial process or process of management. Then these four functions are already noted here, but as per the diagram, these behave in a mutual way, not in a linear way. The four functions have the mutual effect. Right. As an example, without planning, no controlling. Without controlling, no assessment about planning and other functions. Yeah, interrelated. No? Without leading, none of the things mentioned in these functions may be taken up. Right. Therefore, these have the mutual effect, right? Right. But to have the full understanding of the process, we have to use the system thinking, system perspective, or system theory to consider resources. Resources mentioned here, or resources considered as human, financial, physical, and information. That is one major way of identifying resources. All are taken as inputs from the environment, external environment. Right. All organizations take resources from the external environment. Right. Then which are converted to outputs through the management process. Here. We are considering only the management process in this subject. But there can be many other organizational processes supporting this. But as for this subject, we are only considering planning, organizing, leading, controlling four functions in the conversion process. Right. Then through the conversion process, all organizations are able to perform. It says as performance. But performance of the organization can be identified in different ways. No? As mentioned here, one major way is achieving the goals. Then providing a product or a service. Then enhancing the efficiency, being effective. There are many other ways to identify the performance. High return on investment, that is another indicator. Of profitability, another indicator. Then final aim is to perform, no? Enhance the performance. Right. Therefore, you can change this if you like using the term performance, no? To enhance the performance. It improves goal achievement also. That's the best way, no? You should use your mind broader, step by step. If you like, you can change this as to enhance performance. Its performance. Its performance. The organization should be able to improve its performance first. So, to enhance its performance. In a changing environment. Kali ini aku katakan dia, ini pun extension ni ada alur knowledge. Kita lihat kan ada kan. Kali ini වැරදි නෑ. අපි කලින් කරගත්තේ වැරදි නෑ. නමුත් දැන් අපි අලුත් විදිහට කරගන්නවා. අලුත් එකම දේ වෙනස් විදියට. නේද? එකම වයින් බියර් වෙන විදිහකට දානවා වගේ නේ. එච්චරයි අලුත් විදිහට අලුත්. එලා ගන්නේ නැහැ ක්ලාස් රූම් එකේ. ජෙනරේෂන් එකේ ටික සාමාන්‍ය දේවල්. අරගෙන පාරේ යූස් කරනවා. ඒක දෙවලදී යූස් කරනවා. එනිකේ මොකද නැහැ. Again, kita mengenai environment, environmental ada apa ada kan dia. Ini kan. Jadi, kalau ada dan boleh baru kami boleh kata. Ini kan harus ya. Ya kelihatan ada ini ada, apa pasal kali renovate करना पड़ता है. Tapi sebenarnya kan menjual pasti yang itu nih punya apa sih? Punya kan jual ada. Wah ada. Nanti modify kan nanti ada apa? Baik. Terus ada ini. Jadi pasti yang ini nanti modify kan use kan enak. Okay, then each function is briefly explained. No? What happens in planning? It allows managers to set goals and to know how to achieve them. Ways means they also should know strategies, so means of achieving the goals. That is what happens in planning, no? Basically. Right. Then to implement the things in the plan, organizing provides or assigns authority and responsibility to complete the task by managers and non-managers. Your managers have the responsibility. No? Organizing involves both managers and non-managers to identify their authority and responsibility to perform the task. Managers will make decisions. Non-managers will help managers to make decisions, performing their jobs in different departments. Right. That happens in organizing. Then managers, based on their position, should play the leadership role also to direct others to to guide others, to motivate others. That is very essential. Right. Then through the leadership, leading managers may influence employees to, in different ways, uh, them to motivate and get the maximum from their tasks. Therefore, out of these four, leadership is the most important. We will have a different lesson later about that. Right. Finally, without controlling good or badness of the task done cannot be assessed, and future learning also would not happen without controlling. Therefore, controlling as the last function in the management process helps monitor and make corrective and detective actions. Sorry, proactive and corrective actions. What should be done, but only corrective all the time. But manage better as successful leaders to prevent the problems or issues in advance. But all the time it cannot be done. Therefore, both preventive and corrective actions control should be done. But in between, there's another one that is called ongoing controls or process controls. Therefore, all three types of controls should be considered in an organization. Proactive controls, reactive controls, and ongoing controls. All three should be there. Now, due to modern ICT applications, organizations are using more and more ongoing controls, process controls. Then CCTV camera and process controls. Now, take a proactive put in on it. Now, monitor the detective put in on. Or an other camera check punishments then. The concepts are very much practice combined. Right. Then the performance can be considered in different ways as attaining goals, enhancing efficiency, being effective, providing quality service, quality product, satisfying customers in different ways. Enhancing the quality of life of the population, people, society, these are different ways. Right. Then these have the mutual relations, but the whole process should be understood with the support of the system thinking to say that all organizations try to operate with the high interaction of the external environment. The interaction can be explained in two ways. One way is as they get all resources from the external environment. Then through the conversion process, the outputs of performance also goes back to the external environment. This ensures organizations long-term survival and growth. This is a common one. All organizations in the public sector, private sector. This is applicable for non-profit organizations, for a small business organizations, for a giant multinational, for a university, for a school, for an educational institution like SAP campus, or Sri Lanka. The things we discussed so far are applicable to all these organizations. Even for a church, for a temple, for a family, for an individual like us. But different businesses engage in this differently because they have different strategic goals. They are in different industries. Their scales, capacities are different. The people behavior in them are different. They have different values or different missions. Because of that, we see the differences in the application of these common elements, though they are commonly seen for different organizations. Okay. Right, then next, using this diagram, we will identify the importance of management for an organization. Then, as we considered here, we have to select the two elements, two words, efficiency and effectiveness, into the two sides of this diagram. But both should be enhanced. Both should be kept in the highest level. That's the aim. As to the diagram, the keeping no consideration of the efficiency and effectiveness in the highest possible level can be seen with this right left corner position, where the organization is in a growing position. That's the best position in management, where both are high. Right. Then manager should be able to maintain this or achieve this one in the long run. But this is also allowed, not in the long run, but in the short run. It allows businesses to survive in the market. But one dimension should be improved further. What is that? These are doing the right thing because they are effective. Their effectiveness is high. But what is wrong? They could have gone further to utilize resources in their maximum capacity. The efficiency is lacking in these businesses. That's why they are only surviving without touching the growth level. But in future, the managers can be very cost effective to utilize resources more wiser. Then they can allow businesses to move from surviving to growth. But both are allowed, as mentioned there. But these two are not allowed. We don't see proper management in these businesses. These businesses will vanish from the market not quickly but slowly. What's wrong with them? Their efficiency is high. It is opposite to this one. No? Opposite to this one. Their efficiency is high. But they are not doing the right job to the industry or the market, maybe to the customers. Therefore, they cannot stay in the market in the long run. They will vanish slowly. This is the worst situation. Both are not achieved. Both are very low. Both efficiency and effectiveness are very low. These businesses are not doing the right thing and right way. Therefore, they have to vanish from the market or industry very quickly. අපකට එහෙම දන්නේ දානවා කවදාද නේ බිල්ඩින් එක විතර. දානවා කොහොමද ඉන්නවද දැන් කොහොමද හැදුනත් වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මැනේජ්මන්ට්. මැනේජ්මන්ට් එක. අපි කයිදා කරවන්න කරනවා කොහොමද. kita Korea Jerman dengan tutup Korea. Jadi kita support ini kan ada bisa Korea itu makan dan kemudian mana dia kan udah visual yang market kan antara right market kan antara global kan antara ada business. Ada ujian sama ya katakan ini baik itu lagi bisa efektif. And most are not managing the change. Work in a product came with the manage change some customer needs some competitors take a feel the market is anyway smartphone phone now whatever Apple then Samsung then automobile sector traditional engines only have Then to do that, businesses should do market research, continuous market research, systematic way. Identify the future customer needs. Right? Then those companies can get ready for the future, consistent. Toyota is a very good example. Toyota Corporation. Lanka තියෙන උගක් දාස කියන විසරති අපේ කාලේ තිබුණේ හොඳම යන්නේ. දැන් මේ buildings විතර. Businesses නැහැ. Because they were not owners of those businesses did not try to manage the changes in advance. Right. Then all these help to say that management is timely management is very important for all organizations to ensure, as mentioned there, both survival and growth. එතන විස්තර කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා ඩයග්‍රෑම් විතරක් ඇඳලා බෑ විස්තර කරාටත් බෑ ඩයග්‍රෑම් එක ඇඳලා වැඩියෙන් විස්තර කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ පොඩ්ඩක් අර රිලේෂන්ස් බලලා පොඩ්ඩක් විස්තර කරන්න පුළුවන් උදාහරණයක් කියලා පුළුවන් right next one is to identify different management skills managerial skills right these were initially introduced by management scholar Robert Hartz. Then I got there management skills. He only the one who initially introduced this stuff. Right. What are the three management skills? Conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. No? These three skills should be held by all managers, even by employees. But depending on their positions or levels, the significance of these three could vary. To understand that, we will have a diagram. Right. First, we will try to identify these three skills. Right. Then, to explain about a particular concept, one best strategy you all can consider is try to identify similar names as much as possible. Similar names, similar words, samana vachana. ඊට පස්සේ සමාන වචන දාලා කියන්න පුළුවන් ඉස්සර ගන්න. Right. Then what are the similar words for the term conceptual skills? එතනක් තියෙනවා. Right. Similar words are cognitive skills. Then having a big picture about the environment and the organization. Consideration of the organization as a whole. Then having a long-term perspective. Have a strategic thinking, strategic view. Those are the similar words, explanations for the term conceptual. Right. Then, as mentioned there, conceptual skills of managers, right, are the cognitive abilities of them to see the organization as a whole and also to look at the organization with relations of its parts and with the environment and have a long-term perspective or strategic perspective. Right. Then the highest or conceptual skills are highly required to whom? What managers? The top managers, the senior managers or top managers of an organization. Others also should have, not in that way. But senior managers, like board of directors, or CEOs, managing directors, presidents, or a university vice chancellors, registrars, bursars, for a school principals, headmasters, for a small business owners or managers, right? They need to have more conceptual skills inside using having those characters. Right. Right. Then human skills. Today, scholars and practitioners say that human skills are equally required to all managers and employees because all try to deal with others, people in their position, in their shape. Right. But human skills can be considered as the way people try to have networking, collaborations, and interrelations with others. Right. So they need to use, they need to work in a group or in a team. Right. Then technical skills are the very specific operational level activities that they need to use to perform the particular task. Right. Then marketing people may have marketing skills, no? Technical skills. HR people may have HR-oriented functional skills. These are very specialized skills. ICT people have computer usable skills and software development, software application, programming, those skills. Right. These are very narrow, very specific. Everybody cannot have all these, right? Equal. But organizations may have different departments to show the technical skills. Like I said, there are production department if it is a manufacturing organization, then marketing or sales, accounting, finance, HR, ICT, research and development, likewise. In our university faculty also now, even our faculty is management faculty, management and finance. There are 7 8 departments, different. I am from management and organization, general one actually. But there are some other very special departments like marketing, department of marketing, department of accounting, department of international business, department of business economics, like that. Department of HRM, Human Resources Management. Recently, we introduced hospitality and leisure management department also. Tourism. It was in the marketing department now, functions as separate. Right. Those are the technical to share the technical expertise skills. But senior managers should be able to coordinate all these to achieve the strategic goal. But technical departments are headed by a department divisional head. They may report to general manager in an organization. But in our faculty, general manager's position is similar to the dean position. Dean. The deans in different faculties can directly report to the top manager, vice chancellor. Therefore, each organization has its own structure. Therefore, these common terms should be identified in different organizations with different ways, different terms. Equally. $15 more to 130. Right, therefore, it was said that all managers and employees need to have human skills today at the highest level, but technical skills are highly required for the functional managers and lower level managers and employees, right? Then top managers. But top managers should know how to do process computer, mobile phone. They also should know those terms like profitability, sales, cost, right? They should know. That is not as experts. They also should know the meanings of numbers now. Profit value in the cost value in the sales value number. The alternative. From Lanka, again, dan itu kan, dan negara teman dan gitu. Dami keberadaan mana? Tapi ini orang dan sama dari sini orang, praktis orang ini orang kalau orang, praktis orang ini orang. Spesifikan cek kalau, bagi nanti ini kontrol. Random dia, namun he has empowered the whole others formally. Makeup එක විදියක් to identify the importance of these 3 levels for managers and non-managers. But I'll do another one. The rectangular type diagram can be used easily to understand their relative significance than using this bar diagram. But this is also correct. This is what I explained orally. Senior managers have the highest level of conceptual skills than other managers. The human skills are roughly equally required for all parties. Then the importance of technical skills can be determined from this way, that way, because these are highly required for non-managers means employees and supervisory managers or first line managers is required to middle and top level managers. நம்ம கனாடமோ ඔයතුන තියෙනවා යම් මට්ටමක. நம்ம කනාඩම තියෙනවා. සේවකයන් උනත් නේ. ඉතින් වැඩ කරලා මැෂින් එක අනතු වෙනවා. නේද? දන්නවා. ඉතින් තමයි ඒකට සීනි මැනේජර්ස් කරලා තියෙන මුත් මැෂින් එකකින් වැඩ කරලා එක්ස්පීරියන්ස්. ड्राइव කරන්න නම් ඔය තුනම අවශ්‍යයි නේ. right. conceptual. ඉදිරියේදී මොකක් වේද කියලා හිතන්න. experience. ආතලක් විතර අපි on කරන්න slow කරන්න. ඊළඟ technical skills අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම license තියෙනවා. නැත්නම් technical license නැතුව ඊළඟ මේ break කරද්දී ඒවම දැනගන්න. ඊළඟ ඩයරෙක්ට් උලංග එක අපිට දාගන්න දැනගන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් ප්‍රබල සර්විස් කරන තවත් තියෙනවා. technical skills. Human skills යනකොට මිනිස්සුන්ගේ හපන්න නැතුව යන්න ඕනේ නේ. වෙනත් එක්ක යනකොට මොනවාරි වැඩක් දැක්කම දිනය පොඩ්ඩක් මේ ඉව කරන්න. ඉවසන්න. ඒක human skills. හැම ජොබ් එකක් කරන්න මේ තුනම අවශ්‍යයි. මොකද ජොබ් එකේ වගකීම් අනුව ලෙවල් එක ගන්න ඔයගේ අවශ්‍යතාවය වෙනස් වෙනවා. සාපේක්ෂ වැදගත්කම වෙනස් වෙනවා. අම්මා කෙනෙකුට ආච්චි කෙනෙකුට කුස්සිය වෙනකොටත් ඔය තුනම අවශ්‍යයි. දැන් මම ගෑස් එක යූස් කරන්නේ බුද්ධිමත් යූස් කරන්න නැත්නම් ඉන්නේ නැහැ. perceptive skills. ඊළඟ රාහට යන්නවනේ. නැත්නම් විගාන එන මොකද human skills. ඊළඟ මොකද රාහට යනවා. ඒක technical skills. උදාහරණ ප්‍රමාණය දැනගන්න ඕනේ. කොයි කරන ප්‍රමාණය දැනගන්න නැක. කොච්චර සුද්ධ කරනවද ඒවම දැනගන්න ඕනේ. ඊළඟ මැච් කරන්න ඕනේ මාළු කියන්නේ ඒක. ඉතින් තමයි ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් මම අහන්නේ නේ. විද්‍යාලකම තෝරගන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට තුනම අවශ්‍යයි. වියපිව කන්න ඕඩර් කරන්නේ නැත්නම් එහෙමයි නේ. මෙනු එක බලපුවම තමයි දැනගන්න වඩා හොඳ එක කොහොමද සිලෙක්ට් කරන්නේ. අර වැඩක් නැහැ ඒ වුණේ. වැරබල අපි වැරදි දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඕඩර් එකක් දීලා දෙන්නේ. වැරබල යන ඕඩර් එක. ඒක. දැනගන්න අපිට අවශ්‍ය කරන වැරදි වීඩියෝ එක සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න. ඒකට දන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකේ කියුනේ තමයි ගේන්නේ. Right. At any time, we need to use these three skills sets in a balanced way, appropriate. Okay, break again. Break क्या क्या बने? अभी लाके इधर break करना. इधर बस एक case study करता हूँ e-book. Okay, we will have a break for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes now. 15 minutes right now. Class is too hot, no? You better leave the number. At least to 20. Now outside is hot. Sunrise. When it is raining, we have to increase the number inside.
So that you said about that making a book.
Yeah.
Will you divide the groups or?
Yeah. We will form the teams, huh? Because all participants should be here today. Ne? Otherwise, again, we have to take
Still, we don't know the.
Then today we will identify the leaders, team leaders. Looking at the possible number of teams, we will appoint leaders. Then they may select the members accordingly.
Because we don't know how many people are there still.
Yeah.
More than 10
Today we will identify the leaders only.
10 to people are in foreign.
What's the register?
This one. Yeah. No. Yes, that is all. Those 80 people will not come attend.
For this class?
Yeah.
This is what is it? There are 9.
So these people will not attend our class.
Huh?
Because they got accepted for this subject. They came yesterday. We are the ones coming to this class. We are CA business development.
Then they have changed the name.
Yeah.
This is another name, not the my name. I will distribute this after the break. You will sign. Then after that we will sign. Right. What are your names? There are two sheets here. Sheet given for mine class has these names. Kaushalya, Satya, Jayasinghe. Then this long sheet may be relevant for this class, but the other lecturer's name appears on top. Shakib, Diana Madhuvi, HR Pereira, NPS Narasimhan. You are. This sheet is applicable to this class. HR Varshini, sometimes that may be absent. Yeah, for your name, you have to place the dictation, no? Not for another name. And based on this, we have to identify today some key leaders. Then looking at the future attendance, details may select the members. But it should be finalized soon, no? Otherwise, you can't proceed with the work. So that's a team assignment.
Hi, sir. I am Liana Vaduke.
Online members are here.
Yeah, I am present today.
How
Can you
many
hear me?
members? How many members come in via Teams? You are in this class?
Oh, yeah.
Then how many members are there?
I'm not sure you
What's
mean
your
all
name?
the on.
What's your name?
I am Heshani Liana Vaduke. LKH Liana Vaduke.
It should be here. Then what do we get?
Yes.
Number 2, no? 002.
Yeah, number 2.
Right. Then who are the others attending via online? Who are the others? Then I can check with those names.
I'm Chanel. I'm online attending in this session.
What's your name?
I'm Shanilka. Shanilka. SVP here.
How your name appears here in this sheet? Shall I read out the names then from the beginning?
KBS Vidushan.
No, I can.
KBS Vidushan.
Ilham.
Vidushan.
Okay. MRF Rifna, right? MFM Ashar, right? Then NJJ Hakim, HFM Francis, HAR Bashini, SBY Teakshan, P. Tangaya, then PDS Fernando, then KBS Vidushan.
Yes, I am sir. I'm here.
That's your name?
Yes, yes.
Vidushan, another online member.
Vidushan. Online member,
But
yes.
anyhow, since you have 3-4 members, you may have one separate team for the assignment. Okay. Then following the instructions, you may have one report. Then after that, based on the report, you can prepare, that team can prepare slides for the last oral presentation. Okay. Then the other names are VLP Madhushankar, MNA Washim, then KGNM Prasangani. Last one UDM Ariratna. Anyhow, now I heard two names from online. Deyanavadage and Vidushan.
Yes.
Are there other members have looked for this class today? No.
Only two members here.
Alright. Okay. Now, there can be at least two more, no? Via online.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Then, Deyanavadage, can you be the leader for your online group?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then you are the leader for the online group, online team. Right. Then
Okay.
work with other three members. So there are only one today to help you, but you may get the help of others as well, who may log on later, right? Otherwise, you can communicate this one. You can communicate about the team assignment requirements. Saying there's an individual assignment as well. Day we have. At the end, I will do that because we may be having time.
Okay.
Since
Yeah.
the class size is very small, it can be done easily for this class. Quiz can be done easily for this class.
Mhm.
Right, then you also can sign here. I think this sheet is reserved for our class. For your name, they may change the above marks. If any technical problem faced by you, please let me know. Let us know, right? While doing the class. I thought of you are not here today because the conference is happening now. It was activated. Right. Then on the same one, to identify the variation of the skill level required over management levels, we can have this simple diagram. In primary classes, we had these pictures. No? This is the angle one of the rectangular. Right. Then we have to identify three levels of managers. We will forget non-managers here. Yeah. Vertically, we can identify three levels of managers. First, we will see top managers, no? Top level managers or top managers, then middle managers, short name, then lower level managers, or supervisory managers, lower managers. Right. Then the human skills can be considered we use the rectangular one, not this one, rectangular, straight one. Rectangular. Otherwise, we can't have the meaning rectangular, right? Shape, shape got changed, right? Then these are low level managers, middle managers, top managers. It's a straight line, It's a rectangular form, Right. Right then, the human skills supposed to be considered equally for all three levels today. Then parallel line can be drawn first in middle. In this way, we can have parallel line equal in the equal areas. Right then, right, human skills. Human skills supposed to have equal, by three levels of managers, because whatever the level through the hierarchy, there are people in up and down in the hierarchy. Sometimes they have to deal with outside people like customers, suppliers, dealers. But then today I think we are in an era in the world where all of us need to have develop human skills somewhat equally, right? Okay. Then the other two requirement of other two skills, right, has already happened in the diagram, right? Therefore, this area can be used for what skills? For the conceptual skills, no? Right. This area can be used to indicate the scientific variation of the required conceptual skills. Conceptual skills. Right. When you look at the three areas in for each level, the highest area of conceptual skills is required for the top managers. The least area in this diagram, considered for the technical conceptual skills required for the lower level managers. Then middle level managers we have the moderate level conceptual skills. Right. Then in a similar way, but contrastly, we will consider the applicability of technical skills for the three levels. Then we have to consider this last part and the three segments in the area. Right. Then, in opposite phase, we can say that the highest technical skills, right, are required to the lower level managers than other two types of managers. But it is required moderately, significantly to middle managers also, because they are heading the particular functional area, like marketing, production. But these people, non-managers, will directly get the task done from employees in their division. They will guide senior lower level managers. But top level managers need to have very little technical skills as per this part. If you like, you can have the slope further, then it is more meaningful, right? If you have slope in this way, it is more meaningful. Right. Small technical error happened to me. You better have the slope further. Then the explanation is more meaningful. So, තමයි තේරෙන්නේ නේද මේ කට්ටිය වැඩියෙන් ටෙක්නිකල් ස්කිල් ඕන මේ කට්ටියට වැඩියෙන් conceptual ඕන දෙයක් තමයි තේරෙන්නේ වැඩි. ඉතින් අර පොඩක් ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරලා ඩයග්‍රෑම් අඳින්න ඕන අවටි කරලා දෙන්න. ඩයග්‍රෑම් එක වෙනස් කරන්න ස්ලෝප් එක. ඩෙල්ටා ස්ලෝප් එක වෙනස් කරනකොට මීනින් එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. Economics වල තියෙනවා. Right. We don't have a deep, what is called slope. This also explains the same, but it is somewhat difficult to understand using this bar picture. This is the best one. To see the significant differences of applying using three management skills. But you have to name the diagram now. Then using n term, you can name the diagram as here. What we have to say, management levels, managerial levels. Then these are management skills. Then you can name this as management levels and management skills. So managerial levels and managerial skills. That is enough. But looking at the shape, you have to elaborate a little bit. Managerial levels and managerial skills. Right, that's the communication given by the diagram. Okay, then that's enough. In the ebook also it is available. All the lessons are there in the ebook, not only the case studies. But then we will identify the differences of managers. Actually, these three levels of managers can be identified looking at the vertical differences. Vertical, you have to correct that. Types of managers looking at the vertical hierarchy differences, not horizontal, vertical differences. In the hierarchy, looking at the hierarchy differences in the hierarchy, that means hierarchy means the vertical line. We can identify them. These are the horizontal differences, looking at the level-wise differences. Right. Then when we see the differences in the hierarchy, vertical line, three levels of managers, what we mentioned there already, top, middle, first line. There are different names for them, similar names for them, words for them. Then these are the examples for those positions. But organization to organization, we have to identify the position to match with them. But all organizations need to have these three levels of managers based on their structure. But for a small business, we don't see all three levels. Right. At top owner functions as a top manager. Directly, there are few employees working with him or in these three levels are not applicable to that company. These are applicable for medium and large scale structures. But starting point is that for any organization, even Walmart started as a small outlet. McDonald's also has a small outlet. Where also has a small outlet. Over years, they might come to this multinational stage. දරගන්න ඇවිදින්න බෑ වගේ නේ. ඉතින් දරගන්න කියනවා පටන් all business level, entrepreneurial level. Right. Then chief executive officer, managing director, president, vice president, chairman, some exam, so university, vice chancellor, the school principal, commissioner for public organization, secretaries, ministry, are top positions. Middle positions are unit head, divisional head, general manager, departmental head. For some organization, departmental head or functional head may go to the lower level. It depends on the vertical nature of the hierarchy. Right, team leaders, group leaders, supervisors, foremen are examples for the lower level management position. Team leader, group leader. Project managers are placed at the middle level project. For some organizations, they may come to the lower level also. Right. Then we also can identify types of managers in this way. Functional managers. All these functional managers can be placed in the same level, middle level. Then looking at the functions, we can identify such managers as sales managers, marketing managers, finance managers, HR managers, production or manufacturing managers, accountants, advertising managers, research and development managers, IT managers, likewise, right? Because they hit the particular functions and the people, tasks and the people there, right? In a similar way, these managers can be identified as line managers also, no? Which are very similar to the functional managers and the given examples. Line is middle, right? Oh, they can directly contribute to the primary goals, right? The other managers can be considered as staff managers, but these staff managers are also placed at the middle level. Here, line staff classification goes looking at the way the manager position contributes to the primary goal achievement of the organization. Therefore, production managers, marketing managers can be considered as the line manager. They try to directly contribute to the manufacturing process. But accounting, auditing, right, categorizing, planning, advertisement, those are supporting activities. Therefore, those management positions are considered as staff management positions, even HR management. But today, modern writers say that HR managers have both capacities. Maybe the staff, but they have line capacities also. That's the changing role of modern HR. Accountant, finance managers, auditors are holding staff positions. But manufacturing sales are done by those managers directly contribute to the sales income generation. Even ICT managers can be placed at the staff level. They are helping develop systems and to share resources. Right. Then all line and staff managers are headed by the general managers. They are generalists. Even project managers are also generalists, but identified separately. Sometimes the project manager or the general manager would be a finance manager. That's the local phase. But now any manager can go to the general manager, marketing managers, HR managers also. But addition is to give more chance to the finance and accounts. People to finance it. Still, there is only finance it. Current accountants can have, but they will go there, they need to have a degree also. Not only the professional qualifications. They need to have academic qualifications also. And president, current president, group, Ishan group, because English accountancy. English right. Without that, they can't compete in the market. These are MBA from now they need to earn a DBA, so PhD. MBA is also not. That is very convenient. Therefore, most people should have at least DBA. It also will come as MBA. Then I should do the research. The senior managers will how ask their research findings, how your research findings can help us to expand business, right? To introduce another business segment. It is happening in the developed countries already, but it may happen in Sri Lanka also in 50 years to come, around 2030. Then we have to use business analytics and research. Now that requirement has already come to the market. But management knowledge is required. Whatever the technological interventions, without managers, even the new resources like AI, big data applications cannot be done to achieve the goals of the business. The strategic management level is required. The computer package cannot replace that. But there is a high intervention of the new technology for all professions in the world. Even for doctors, it's a threat. But that should not be considered as a threat. They should be able to use the technology, right? To please the patients, clients. Right. That would definitely, those are my opinions, personal opinions also, and others' opinions as well. The world would move in such a way. The human brain cannot be 100% challenged by technologies. Even technologies are developed by human brains, no? To research and all. Right. Then one way of explaining the manager's job is using those traditional functions. That is called functional approach. But Henry Winsberg, that was highly introduced by Henry Fayol, functional approach. In the second lesson, we will identify those things with the scholars' names when we describe the evolution of management theories and practices. The functional approach in management, what we consider now is the diagram and the definition. It's the classical approach by Henry Fayol. Henry, I know. Fayol is the father of management. Actually, not only these functions, he has introduced many more things. Therefore, Henry Fayol, a French industrialist, French guy, is considered as the father of management. Overall management. Then role approach, role approach, Bhumika approach. Was introduced by another Henry, he is Henry Winsberg. But here we have to use why Henry Winsberg. He still used maybe in California or Canada. He says that only looking at these formal functions planning, organization, leading, it is very difficult to identify what managers do in their day-to-day activities. Therefore, he has proposed three types of roles mentioned in the red color words. One is interpersonal, then information, then decision making. And the first two, he considered three sub roles each. In the last one, another four. Altogether, there are 10 sub roles that managers try to play with. Right. Therefore, we have to consider both in traditional functional approach and role approach. Actually, this is also now traditional, right? Both are classical. Right. But now I think the last set of roles are crucial managers to know. They should use information, but information era is also now over. No? We are in now the light of 5 generation, 5G, just 5G, but still industry 4G continues. But these, whatever the changes in the environment, these common roles, functions should be used by managers. Every time. They do plan, they do organize, leading, controlling. They may work as figureheads, leaders, liaisons, like us. Right. Then, as for Winsberg, managers try to develop and maintain human skills. What we mentioned here, positive human skills with other significant others that can be considered as the playing of interpersonal roles by managers. But that is very vague. Then Winsberg has proposed three of them, like figurehead role, leader role, and liaison role. As the figurehead roles, these managers try to attend the ceremonial events, right, using their formal authority and position to represent the organization or the division. Mostly senior managers they play this role, but if they cannot attend, they can send another manager as a representative. Right. Therefore, any manager can play the figurehead role, but it is played mainly by senior managers, top managers. Ila kapan ini? Ketek yang kapan ini? Ceremony events. Branch එක open grand dia di branch manager ඉන්නවා නමුත් ඉන්නේ CEO ඉන්නේ නේ. ඒ වගේ. ඊට කතාවක් කියමු කරලා නේ. They should have those qualities. People will see that human relations can be made with the internal and outside others. Right. Then leader role. Then under as a leader, the managers should be able to build and maintain relationships with their subordinates. As for this one, with subordinates, immediate people in the hierarchy. Right. But leadership is more than that. No? Leadership involves not only a subordinate relationship, but today it is extended to the outside relations as well. But Winsberg here defines in such a right. Then such a leader as the boss should be able to communicate, motivate, and inspire, coach subordinates or mentor subordinates. But now leadership is more than that. මේක කියනකොට ඒ විදිහට කියන්න නෑ. මේක වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. මෙයා කියපු ඒවා. තමන්ගේ අදහස පස්සේ කිව්වයි. නමුත් ඒක විස්තර කරනකොට ඒ විදිහටම කියන්න. Right. Liaison role involves building and maintaining network relationship people. Here it is somewhat different. No? Liaison now in not only in people inside, but people in outside. Liaison. These are the three interpersonal roles as per Winsberg, right? Then the second set of roles mentioned by him, right, is informational roles, where the manager should get and transmit and use information. No? Right. But here also there are three such informational roles. First one or the fourth one in the main whole is monitor. Be a monitor. Okay. Right here, as a monitor, the manager should be able to scan the environment using different methods and contacts even to get valuable information, to receive valuable information. After getting such information, the manager should be able to transmit, to share, exchange such information, right, from one support to facilitate subordinate to his own subordinate as well as others in different organizations, different divisions. Right. Then here as the disseminator, as said by Minsberg, the gathered information should be shared within the organization, within the organizational premises only. But when we go to the next one, third one of information, is a spokesperson where the manager is supposed to share such information internally as well as externally. That's how we can distinguish the roles mentioned in different levels here. Right. Here only getting information internally and externally. Here using the information internally. Here using the information in both internally and externally. He also said, no? In under leader, manager is supposed to direct people down him or her. Under liaison, he is supposed to do that in both in and outside people. But here relationship should be maintained under interpersonal role. Here information should be shared because these are informational roles. Right. The decision-making roles are 4 types that allows to have 10 overall roles. Right. Then, as mentioned by Winsberg, first decision-making role is to be an entrepreneur. Today it is highly visible all over the world, but there are many aspects of entrepreneurship also now. It is evolving. Right. There are different types of entrepreneurship concepts. What are those? Intrapreneurship or corporate entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, like that. Hybrid entrepreneurship, there are new terms for sure. Right. That's what mentioned by Ninsberg as the common term entrepreneurship, where the manager should be an initiator of idea, designer, and encouraging innovations. Even he can't do that, he should be able to encourage others to do innovations. Even employees can be empowered. Outside person can be growth, maybe investors. But without entrepreneurs, product services cannot be commercialized, cannot be reached to the people in the society. Only it will remain as an idea. Right. Therefore, it is very important today now to play the entrepreneur role by all managers, even by all employees. Next one is facing crisis situation, have corrective actions, taking corrective actions, knowing the problem. It is called playing the disturbance handler role, right? That's what I mentioned, and that's why I added those words in the definition management. It should happen in a changing environment. Right? Mr. has already identified, proposing this role. Right. Resource allocated is similar to the task mentioned in organizing. Resource allocated. Even it is part of entrepreneurship also. Entrepreneurs should be able to allocate resources also. But resources can be anything, no? Which are limited. Time, own time, others' time, funds, equipment, even talents, even information, all can be resources. Those should be allocated to different tasks, different people, and different projects. Last one is the negotiator role. Right. Managers, based on his or her responsibility, should be able to negotiate with another head or another person. Right. Even with an outside person, no? Right. With the supplier. Today I think it is ideal such a proper negotiation. Without proper negotiation, even domestic businesses, international businesses cannot be done. Right. All these are actually different capacities of managers. Right. But there are new research, no? Found new management skills. We will identify them in the latter part of the handout. How to be a new manager in the 21st century. Then it's a matter of moving from traditional ways to new ways. Right, we have come to that part. Last learning outcome is to know how to be such a new manager in the 21st century. There are two diagrams to understand this. The first diagram says that based on your qualification and experience, first you should be able to present your individual identity. Then only you can secure a job in an organization. Right. Therefore, you should have these characters. Give priorities to embark on these characters now. One is to be a specialist, to get a qualification in one area, to show your ability to perform specific tasks into that, maybe as an accountant, as a marketing, like that. But most of you may embark finance and accounting, right? Then after that, this is a common one. To show the managerial capabilities, you should be able to get things done from others or through your own efforts from others. Right. Then, where you have to be an individual actor. That's what I mentioned. As to say, to be independent. Always it should be there. Right. Then, that's what I mentioned here. You should be able to work relatively independently. But to be a manager, you have to move from being independent to interdependent, team day. Right. Therefore, that's how you can distinguish your one to be demand to be a manager. Then your process will identify that you will be promoted to be a functional manager, then a CD manager. Right, where to show your managerial identity, as I said here, in some positions, you should be a generalist. You should be able to coordinate diverse tasks. Right? Then, here you are supposed to do the things with your own efforts. Here, you are supposed to do the things not only with your own efforts, but through others' efforts. That's the meaning of coordinate. Then, you also should be a network builder, collaborator. Right? Then here you should be able to work highly interdependent, not only independent. Interdependent. Dependence and interdependent. Teamwork, collaboration. Right. Right. Then you have to consider the things movement mentioned in this diagram, but that is not enough. We are in a new world now. World has changed. Workplace has changed. Therefore, we have to identify the key points happen in the old workplace and the key points happening in the new workplace. To understand that, we will have some three keys mentioned in the red color words as forces, characteristics, and the nature of management competencies. Right. Then these three can be seen comparatively how those have happened in the old workplace and how now these are happening in the new workplace. Right. But under one there are many points. As forces, we can identify the technology, focus, workforce, pace, and events. Right. Then, when we consider technology, in the old workplace, we much embrace the mechanical technologies. But we have to continue with them. But along with mechanical technologies, modern, we can't be effective in the modern workplace because it is very digitalized. Therefore, to be a successful manager or to be a new manager in the today's workplace, you should move from knowing mechanical technologies to digital technologies. That's how the technology got changed. In future, it would be more paramount. Right. Then looking at the focus of the work, earlier you were supposed to have a local concern and domestic concern. But while doing that, today you have to think globally. Active local is required, but you have to think global. Both should be there. That's why we say think globally and act locally. But Coca-Cola time to time change this motto, embrace huge losses in those times. දෙකම global කරන්න ගියා දෙකම local කරන්න ගියා ඒක හරියන්නේ දෙකම මිශ්‍ර කරන්න. You have to think globally and act locally. The workforce, earlier we had very obedient workers, homogeneous workers. Cultural differences, plurality is very minimum. Today it is very high. The workforce diversity is very high. At the start of the course outline also I showed that. No? That's a big challenge. Not a challenge actually, it's an opportunity to do innovations. Then pace of work. Earlier, your space is very manageable, stable. The efficiency increment was the main focus. But now, today, speed and change both should go hand in hand. Right. Otherwise, you are not a successful manager. You can set directions for your division of organization. Events. Earlier, very calm and predictable. Today, very turbulent and lot of crises should be faced, right, by modern businesses and managers. Right. Therefore, as mentioned under the forces, you should be able to at least understand the need of moving from these points to those points today, right? But having right attitude is enough. Need not to have all competencies, but this thing is you should get ready to move from right to move with right attitudes. That is enough. That's what I think in your Srilanka keynote speak also emphasized. Last week, even your president emphasized have right attitude to understand and to get ready towards these new points. Likewise, now you can easily understand the other things also. And the characteristics, resources, workforce, some are overlapping already mentioned about, can be identified differently. No? In the old workplace, we gave the much priority for the land buildings like physical resources, physical assets. That doesn't say today we should avoid them. Without them, we can't identify a place. But moving beyond that, today people and managers should much consider to embrace information and knowledge resources, and network resources today. Right, then work, when you look at the work, nature of the work or characteristics of work appeared in the old workplace, it is very structured and localized as mentioned above. Today it is, we have to consider much flexible work arrangement, virtual work arrangements. Virtual. COVID has enhanced this one. COVID pandemic enhanced this one. Even today, we have to use the more virtual and flexible work arrangement. Your structure should be virtual and very flexible. Then workforce. Earlier, managers could maintain loyal employees, but with Z generation, it is very difficult to have such employees. Today, I think managers should do more work empowerment. That is highly expected by the new generation. Right. Then to address all these, you should know as managers what kind of competencies should be required in the old workplace and required in the modern workplace. Right. It is also comparable. Under management competencies, you can consider leadership style, how to do the things, and how to have the relationships. Right. When you look at the leadership earlier, autocratic leaders could be able to do many things, many more things. It was the style applicable to most situations in the old workplace. But now, the dispersed or distributed leadership or empowered leadership is the mostly viable, applicable style of leadership. Then nature of doing the task. Earlier, even decision making was much appeared as individual decision making by the manager. He made all decisions. Uh, the decision he or she made could have been easily implemented with the employees, no, with their support. But today, workers will not only listen to what they are told by manager. They try to take part in the decision making process as well. Such competent workers are here. They like to take part in the decision making process with managers in teams, no, as much as possible. Right. Last one, the nature of relationship. Earlier, using the red ocean strategy in the world, organizations, managers, much considered to have competition. They use the edge as the cutting edge as the competition. But now, managers should be able to have ongoing, strategic collaborations with internal and external parties, no? To have win-win situation. Right. That's why I think there are a lot of strategic alliances like partnering, strategic partnering, licensing, joint venturing, franchising, what is it? Coalitions, business coalitions. All these are different types of collaborative efforts. Even those are widely used in all industries, no? Maybe in supermarket chain, maybe in construction industries, maybe in software development sectors, automobile manufacturers. All are using these collaborative efforts. The main firm cannot do everything under the house in his own effort. No? Therefore, a lot of things should be outsourced. A lot of that should be done with the outsource, subcontractors, outsources. Even it is applicable for government organization. Collaboration should be done. Not only by private sector organization, even public sector organization should have a lot of collaboration. Outsourcing should be done. Otherwise, they are cost would go skyrocket, no? They cannot compete in the market. People will not buy and consume services of the today customers try to buy high quality product at a cheaper price with the minimum effort. To satisfy all these changing customer needs and wants, expectations, today for any company should go for more collaboration, collaborative. Okay, then last two diagrams and points mentioned, they are very important, right? But you can't undermine the classical knowledge those management. Without those, these would not emerge without the basic knowledge. Right, with this, we will finish the handout. There are 30 minutes more to finish. Right, that is enough to have a case study from the book. Right, this is the ebook I uploaded. This one old book, even the contents are very helpful to study the practice of management today. There are small cases as case let and long cases as case studies in this book. This is about the next lesson, second lesson. On the next day, I will come and do this one. Then this small case left can be studied. It is doable with the gain knowledge today by you. A small one. One retail stall manager is sharing his opinion, perception about knowing and using management concepts. Right. As you now learn today. Is Mr. Vincent, the manager of a large supermarket like Keys or Huggies, was taking a management course in the evening program at the local college, like this one. The professor or lecturer had given an interesting but disturbing lecture the previous night on the various concepts and approaches to management, as I did today. Vincent had always thought that management involved just planning, organizing, and control, not even leadership. No? Now, this professor or lecturer was saying that management could also be thought as quantitative models, system theory and analysis, and even something called contingency relationships. We had some of them today also under the introductory session. Right. Vincent had always considered himself a good manager, and his records in the supermarket chain had proved it. He thought of himself, as a quotation, I have never used operations or research models, thought of my store as an open system, or develop or utilize any contingency relationships. By doing a little planning ahead, organizing the store, and making something got done, I have been a successful manager. That other stuff just does not make sense. All the professor was or lecturer was trying to do was complicate things. I guess I will have to know it for a test, for an examination only. But I am sticking with my old plan, organize and control approach to manage my store, maybe in the future. That is his understanding of perception, opinion about knowing management, right? But authors have not given a question, then I like to give a question for this. But you have to write the answers also using your critical thinking. Then a simple question can be given as evaluate, no? Evaluate the perception of perception on management of is Mr. Vincent put comma the manager of a large supermarket, the manager in capital here, position, the manager of a large supermarket. Given in this caselet, given in this caselet, full stop. For that 10 marks, we'll write 10 marks. Evaluate, no? Evaluate the perception on management of Mr. Wilson, the manager of a large supermarket, comma, given in this caselet, full stop. We'll write 10 marks like idea. Then one page you have to evaluate. Then one can agree with it. Then you have to elaborate the answer in such a way. Another can disagree with me. Then I elaborate the answer in such a way. But I prefer to disagree with me and elaborate. Then you can read information, but providing reproducing information in the case is not the way of answering. You should use some concepts, different concepts. Through that, then you have to elaborate the answer. But first, you may have one introductory sentence. After that, you can give provide the points in the body of the answer. Those points should be given based on the within the concepts relevant to the lesson for this answer or the question. But in the case itself, some of them have been explained by the right. Yeah, planning. Some concepts in the subject are planning, organizing, controlling. In contingency relationship, system theory, quantitative models. Right, those things and some other things learned in addition to these in the lesson can be taken. Control approach. But in the start, you may have one introductory section, no? At least one sentence to present your opinion, evaluation. Even the keywords given in the definition of management can be used, no, to support your answer. Management is a process, no, there we identified 4 functions, but here it seems that he may be having the knowledge about the first 3 functions. No? He has not identified the role of leadership, leading. Likewise, you can keep the points. And another thing is, in the latter part of the definition, we noted the environment is changing drastically, no? But as a manager, the technique used on yesterday may not work on today and tomorrow because the environment is changing. No? But his understanding is what he has used in the past may work similarly, no? Successful in future. Then as per Mintzberg, we identify different interpersonal roles to be used by a successful manager. No? But he says that need not to bother about this contingent relationship. That means he tries to undermine the importance of managerial roles. But we learn to be. Likewise, in such a way, you should be able to grab the things. මම කියන්නේ කීපයක් එක්කෙනාට වෙනස් ඒවා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ස්ටයිල් එක ඔක තමයි. අප්‍රෝච් එක. මේකට උඟාක් තොරතුරු ගන්න පුළුවන් දෙවෙනි සෙෂන් එකක් කරපුවා. ඒකට මේකෙන් ලේසියෙන්ම ගන්න පුළුවන් අඩු ගානේ කරුණු 5ක් ලේසියෙන්ම ගන්න පුළුවන් අර කරපේ. ලබන 10කින් කරුණු 5ක් විතර මේක එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරපුවා නම් 10ක්ම ලියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. පොයින්ට් එක විතර ලියනකොට එක්ස්ප්ලනේෂන් එකක් කරනවා ඒකට 10ක්ම ඕනේ. market. The point එක ලකුණු දෙකක් දෙන්න වෙනවා. Online members, you are also in the track now. Today, with this, we are going to finish. Otherwise, I and my task would be boring to you. As I said, 3 hours are also too much to do classes in the daytime, no? For subject like descriptive subject like management. Mathematics and government available at the end. එනවාට අපි මේ පොඩ්ඩක් මේ දීලා ගන්න රසවත් විදිහට කරේ. Please place your signatures on the sheet. I think the first sheet is relevant for your class. Not this one. But names of the lecturers have been given first week. Okay, then before finish after having a reasonable answer, we will identify team leaders. Then I appointed this Diyanamaduri as the team leader for the online class, online part. Here you have been asked not to use the pen to indicate the number, but anyhow, please inform the details of your business. Then they will write them to the formal sheet. University වල අතෝ කරන හැබැයි ඉතින් මම කරපුවාම තමයි ළමයා කවුද කියලා දැනගන්න ඉන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකත් එකකින් හදන්න. Then here altogether 90, no? Assume that all that is 20, including that online members. No? Right. Then here for the physical class, we have to have four teams. Maximum 5 teams are ideal for this class. The physical and online. Right. Then from you shall we identify 4 leaders today. Then later those 4 leaders should gather members. At least 2 more members can be found by all 4 step by step. If there are more members, then later those can be accommodated one by one. Then you may have maximum 4 member teams for this class. As to the class size. Right, then who would be the 4 leaders? Try to be leaders, volunteer. Balance the gender also. I think she was female type. You would be a leader. What's your name? Okay. Yeah. Then try to find first 3 members. Maximum 2 members, then another one. With you, maximum should be 4. Then another thing. You need not to work actually. You have to coordinate things as mentioned there under leading. Remind deadlines, remind the task, have a chat with them. That is enough. But another would be a team leader for another assignment in a rotating basis. Another subject assignment. Do I choose members now? Yeah, even you can find now, not the leaders, but the other leaders. So we can select 4 leaders. Yeah, today I am going to identify 4 leaders. That is over now. Leader was appointed already for them. They will doing work. They agreed. There are 4 members. They will work together. Likewise, here also we will have 4-member teams. I assume that all have to face the exam and earn the marks from the continuous assessment. There are minimum requirements from each part. Otherwise, they can't complete this stuff. Again, they have to redo. It's a headache. Postponing thing is very difficult to do these days. Right, who would be the others? Oh, we can have 2 more leaders. And later, if we need another data member, then we can do that. At least there should be three leaders. Not yet. Then by the next week, it should be completed. No, otherwise, fine. Go ahead with the task. Time will go. The task will not be started. Right. You question it? Right. Then one more. We will identify one more leader today. Then 3 leaders can pick the members today and other days by this week. One more. How about you? Can you be it? You can add it. But you have to communicate through the phone or WhatsApp. Technology is there, then technology is there. Okay. That's enough. Then I have to do another one. Even from today, I have to do that. The last one quiz. But we can use 10 days. I can finish that within 10 days. Because 2 marks will be given for the day. Take your learning. There are 2 online members in here. 9. 10 minutes. To know the task actually, if we can do that today, it is better. Okay, then shall we do that also, as mentioned in the course outline? First, we will hear to the online members, right? This is the individual quiz, as I communicated to the course outline. Then in a day, at the end of the class, I did actually this for the previous batches also. I wanted each member to share one particular new learning point. Right? You had from the particular class day. Now today we discussed about the introduction of management. From that, any point, any clear point about management can be orally explained by you within 1 minute or before that. That's the task given. On other days, you have to do that to match with those lessons. Okay, you heard that, no? Now we will start from Miss Lianavadugate. Then can you loudly say us what you learned about management today? One particular specific point can be explained. I will use the serial number. Serial number of you is 2, no? And registration number also 2.
Hi,
Yes. What you learned?
can you guys? So I think management is not like a frame to in one category. It's like a wide range of uh, area, like uh, manager, like manager position. So we can't go to the like we can't be a frame. So we have to uh, like think widely and uh, like work as a very, very team and like that. It's like, I thought it is like a very wide topic and yeah.
Okay, we could not hear, but anyhow, next time try to tune your sound now. Right. How about the other one? That is number 15, Vidushan. Can you share new learning points as real learning point about management?
Yes, sir. Um, Leonardo already said that management is wild areas, so you have to collaborate the all conceptual skill, like that human skill, technical skill, all together. Manager is very wild areas. So those things are we understood in this session.
No, no. The answers should, two answers going to be similar, but you can identify any learning point. We use many slides now. You can concentrate to one point in one particular slide. Need not to, provide very general, broader explanations about the subject. Did you understand what I said?
Oh yes, sir.
Right, then can you pick a very specific point appeared in the handout and tell about that is also explained under management, introduction to management. As an example, I explain the first interpersonal role as per Winsberg, like figurehead. Right. Then figurehead means this. Likewise, you can give a very specific point. Even that helps others also, no? To know that more precisely after listening to that. Likewise, can you select a very special point in the lesson and tell about that? Not to read out that again, but in your words, you can mention that. Are we audible? Now, straightly you can identify a particular point and tell about that in your own words as a new learning point. That's how actually this task should go, otherwise, it is not effective. Right, we will come back to you. You can get ready, then we will move with you one by one. What you learn? What's your number? Name? Huh? Ratnayaka. You wrote down separately. This is Ratnayaka. Okay, what's your learning point? How to use
Managers use
or you can say I learn about three managerial skills. Those have been introduced by cards. These are the three. That's enough. That's how this exercise should go.
I learn about humanitarian skills, conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. Uh,
Then explain these three. That's enough. Then another can take that forward, okay? Saying that these skills should be used in different ways by different methods. Like, because one need not to capture everything. Conceptual. Conceptual skills are the very cognitive skills, no? Used to see the interrelationship of organization with the environment and to have a holistic perspective about the operations of that. Then top level managers need to have more conceptual skills due to this, like this you can say. Then through this we can develop communication, not only knowledge, communication, planning, negotiation, all the skills can be developed. Okay, since you mentioned those things, three things, I will allow, but next time try to improve. Then another one. What's your name?
Teacher. Teacher.
Teacher number 12, 012. Right. What you learn?
We learn about three main skills about managers and manager levels. And those are the conceptual skills and human skills and technical skills.
You have another class, no? From 315, no? This is the last one. Okay.
And those are the conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. So I'm going to describe how managers want to use these skills and what managers want to use more skill is useful than the other. Usually, level managers conceptual skills is more useful than the other two-level managers because they have to predict their future plans and decisions. And middle managers usually needs free skills as well other managers like because they have to attend low level and top level managers as well. And lower level managers need to provide technical skills because of they need to attend with machinery and production part. That is the what I look at.
Another one, this one. Your number?
07.
07.
17.
17, yeah. Right. Washim. Right. What's your learning goal?
Where I learned how to describe the manager role new way. Previously we learned it about something like manager for manager is a planning organization and leading such a way. So this time I could learn that manager is a process of planning organization, leading and controlling resources and organization to enhance its performance and get a achievements together. That's the
In a changing environment.
yeah.
All right. Then next one? 09. 09. Hakim. Right.
So today I learned about the three major managerial skills. One is conceptual skills, human skills, another one is technical. I'm going to explain the three of it. First one is conceptual skills. Is what ability to see the organization or firm wholly and to take decisions, manage all the departments, and also it demands more of a strategic decision. That's what the conceptual skills demands. And second one is human skills. Human skills means more of a dealing with the persons, workers, and other co-workers and getting the things done through them, dealing with their problems and solving them. The third one is technical skills. Technical skills talk about how to the things done, how to produce, how to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of the works.
Next one. What's the number?
06.
Huh?
6.
007. Start. Right.
The manager roles, which approach the individual. There are main three roles. There are interpersonal role, the information role, and decision making role. There are three roles under the interpersonal roles. Figure role, the lesson role, and leader role. Figure role is approaching the ceremony and the role. Leadership role is coordinate, motivate, and uphold events. The lesson role is communicate relationship in the inside and outside of the.
Right. Figure is actually representing the organization or the unit, right, as a key person. No? Right. Okay. Yeah. This time, all should be able to give a very effective explanation. Then only 2 marks will be given. Otherwise, 1 or below that. Then next one from there. What's the number? 005 or 5?
05.
Oh, yes. What you learn?
Today I have learned how to be a manager. So, as an individual identity, perform like specific tasks and get the work from own effort and act as an individual and work is relatively independent. But to be a manager, you have to work with others, you have to coordinate with others and get things done from others. So, and also, a manager is an effort leader. The manager's work is highly interdependent manner. So, as a manager, we have to collaborate and work with others and
Yeah, this is about how to move from individual identity to managerial identity. Based on the first diagram. Right. Another one? What's the number? 7. Yeah. 007. Right. What's your learning point as a new one?
all managers use mechanical and managers or managers and other employees and managers and other employees under the management and relationship. Managers are with collaborations and all managers are competition.
As for the leadership style, how it differs in the old days and nowadays. Leadership style.
Managers empowering
Autocratic. Automatic or autocratic? Autocratic. Okay. Then there can be 3 more. What's the number? 19, eh?
Yes.
Arirata?
Yes.
19 now. You can select a new area.
The process of management starts with external human resources, examples like human, financial, physical, and information, then it will be processed. Process is management functions. Management functions include planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Planning is organization, set goals and where to attain for that. Organizing is assigned responsibility for task accomplishment.
Right. What's the perspective help me to view this management process? What's the I said that particular perspective or theory or model can help us to view this. What is that? So the diagram appears like that. What's the view? Only one word. Process. Though it is process, it's a kind of what? Connected. These elements are connected with arrows, lines. What is that? Aragale, the government system. Yeah, it should be understood through a system perspective, no? But generally that would be discussed in the next session. System thinking.
The program is controlling, monitoring, and make cuts. Finally, we can achieve output as performance.
Maybe interview sort of panel members interview selection interview sort of chat. अब ये वाली है नहीं और तेरी है ना बहुत दूर है मुझे ना तेरी साना है ना
Obviously, performance, end goals, products, services, efficiency, and effectiveness.
right then you are the last one question number nah this is la right information no second one in and out both and disseminated as per Ginsburg manager should share within the organization information. So are you deep understand? Right, all finished? Altogether how many? Today 11. Yeah, that is the signatures, but online members have not signed. Those are there. Okay, then in such a way we will proceed. Today, I took more time about 12 minutes more because I had to do everything, no? Setting up the class, explaining course outline, other guidelines, bylaws, or normally the first lesson takes more time. Then, subject to knowing these now, then we can proceed with others in normal ways. Even we can save little more time to finish. Okay, thank you very much. Then, like us, we will proceed. Then, leaders try to find identify members. Maximum should be 4 members in the leader. Right. Okay, then there is online members joining. Till other two also to join and continue with these academic activities. Okay, thanks.